Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Motorsport Manager, and it is race day of the third race of the second season. And I think I'm actually going to tell my drivers to push their tires a little bit to get some temperature in there from the start, where the tires will probably be cool. Let's see where our starting positions are going to be. We're more than likely going to be in the back because of the way that this series works. So let's go all the way down here. So we've got Mustafa in 18th and Boris in 15th. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So we're going to be stuck in the pack. It's going to be rough for the first few laps here. Hopefully we can make up. But let's follow Boris here. Now, tires are pretty cool, which is why I've gone with that more aggressive stance. Fortunately, Boris has lost a place there, and Mustafa's all the way down into 20th. Let's go ahead and speed time up here. So hopefully we can pick things up. Now, I am noticing the higher top speed of our position kind of costing us there. I expected that this might be a tough race for us overall. I do expect Mustafa to eventually pass Boris. Now, you have to keep in mind, though, Boris has the better car, the better suited car for this race. So, we'll have to see about that. We could flog the engine, but at this point, our engines are not really all that reliable. So, I have to keep that in mind as well. But you know what? Screw it. Go ahead and push your engine out there. And Boris I'll keep in a more passive stance for now, a more neutral stance. And try and take advantage of pits. Now, a lot of people are running hard tires, which will allow them to stay out quite a while. Mustafa is catching Boris here a little bit on the straights because of the more aggressive engine strategy. Although he lost a lot of room in that corner trying to pass, I think. So we're well in the back here. Again, as I said, this race might be a little rough for us because we, as far as our cars go, one of the things we're lacking the most in is top speed. All right, so Mustafa with a more aggressive engine strategy does pull ahead here. How is the overall reliability of his engine? So far, so good. All right. We've got a chance to get 18th here. Now, as the race goes on, the cars that aren't quite as good are going to start falling towards the back. And this is where we're going to start making up places. Oh, we got a crashed car there. I mean, it really doesn't matter what our strategy is here. I'll have Mustafa come in, and I'll wait on Boris. So we'll pit with Mustafa. This could be a risk because that might mean that Boris doesn't get to pit. But I think it's better to have Mustafa pit now. And we'll take the fast route, which will get us out. Now, it doesn't particularly matter how fast our pit is. Well, not necessarily. If a lot of people are pitting in front of us, if we get out faster, that'll actually give us an advantage. Now, Boris, because he's not going to pit, will gain a lot of positions, but then we're just going to have him pit probably later. So, in that regard, it doesn't really particularly matter. So here's everybody pitting up in front of us. But we're going a nice slow speed because of the safety car. So, as a matter of fact, speed things up here. So there goes Boris, all the way up into 5th, due to being able to pass here. And Mustafa, with that very quick pit, manages to get up to 10th. So that was a good pit for us. Now, we're going to want to have Boris come in. We're going to give him soft tires, and we're going to fuel him up. Now, pit strategy, we are going to have to go to balance because he doesn't have the pit crew that can give him those quicker pits. But still, 9 seconds, not too bad. And we'll get some new tires on him. And We'll go with neutral stance here because he does have warm tires. Although they might cool off quite a bit here as we're riding behind the safety car. Now, I'm hoping, yeah, the safety car has 1 lap left, so Boris won't get too screwed here. Granted, he'll still get screwed because cars will be right behind him. On the other hand, we could wait until this is all done and pit then, because we're probably going to be all the way back in 19th if we pit now. It's too late, though. He's already gone into the pit lane. Alright. Safety car will be heading out. We're going to be in 18th here. Finish up. We'll go ahead and put him on a neutral stance as well. So we're going to be watching Mustafa here, who's now in 8th because of some of the pitting that happened. And his very rapid pit coming out, even though he was behind a lot of the guys that were pitting, worked out for us. That's why that trait is so good. Getting those faster pits more reliably is fantastic. I'm still not sure how much I'm going to want to push these cars. Everybody else went on the hard tires. Hopefully we can make up for that with our soft tires. Really be able to pass these guys with the faster tires. Alright, so we'll be going ahead as soon as the safety car comes off. And that is going to happen now, and here we go. Alright, so let's change our strategy up a little bit here. So we're going to push, and with Mustafa's car, I'm even going to go on the more fuel-burning strategy. On the other hand, we could do that with... Probably be more intelligent to do that with Boris's car because he gets the faster refueling. As long as his engine can handle it. You know what? I don't know if our engines can handle that pushing. It's too early. I would have loved this race to have been later in the season. We are losing some places, though, because of the pack situation. And Mustafa is just not able to fight these guys off. Boris does manage to make some ground, though. There we go. A little bit of fighting going on in the pack. Mustafa's lost a lot of ground. Now, having our guys on the same tires could be dangerous, but we'll just have to see. Boris is catching up nicely here. As a matter of fact, is about to pass Mustafa, but just manages, Mustafa just manages to hold his position. Boris almost took the guy in 13th, Nightingale. So we're kind of maintaining this mid-of-the-pack stance. Now again, we do have the faster tires here, so we're going to have some advantages over our opponents. Now, Boris should catch Mustafa on a lot of the straights, which just happened. So Boris is now in front. How is the condition of his engine, though? We might be able to tell Mustafa to burn his engine here, because his engine's a little bit more reliable, apparently. Now, we're going to have to pit before a lot of the rest of the pack is, so we'll have to see how that works for us. I might go back on... Alright, I think I'm done burning the fuel here. I might go back on mediums with Boris's car. We'll have to see what the rest of the pack does. Although I'll have to pit first, so I guess that's not going to be necessarily easy. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to hit our sponsorship bonus here. Although there is somebody that pitted in front of us that we will blow by here. That's the other thing about this track. If you pit, People are going to pass you. I mean, it doesn't matter how much of a lead you have. Even the guy in first is going to be threatened. All right, so we're going to get past the guy in 11th. We have a chance here. Oh, our temperatures are a little bit high here. I think we got to come in with Boris here. Not Boris, Mustafa. Mustafa, pit. I'd like to keep him on softs, but I'm really not sure of this strategy now. Because we're having to pit more often. That amount of fuel should do it for this race. Out of curiosity, how about these tires? How many laps is it saying they'll make? So according to this should be the last lap that we have, the last stop we have to do. And pit strategy, we'll go with the nice fast one. 9-second pit stop. Hopefully we won't lose too many places doing that. I wonder if my opposition is trying to go for only a one-stop race. I mean, there's no way they could do that with what fuel they've got. And then Boris here will tell to pit. And we'll get him. I mean, I'm thinking softs again because it's saying estimated laps 12 to 14. We should be able to make it around with this. And then we'll fuel him up. And that should be plenty to get around. Actually, more than we probably need. And then we'll go with the normal pit strategy here. Pit. All right. If we drop down to 17th, might be able to make that up. 16th, there we go. Big gap, though. All right, so we had a little bit of a mistake there with Mustafa's car that slowed him down a little bit. But we have 16th. A lot of people are pitting in front of us, even people that had hard tires. They are getting softs, so some of them are anyway. All right, so hopefully we can have a nice quick pit with Boris, and then we'll be able to make up some spots. Not quite. Mustafa's going to be coming around here. And just managed to get into 13th, so our cars are back together again. Temperatures are okay, although we might want to heat Mustafa up a little bit. And we'll see about burning fuel. We should have plenty of fuel to get around the track. But whether or not we burn fuel, I don't know. We're going to be able to pass some more people that pitted. Pass, pass, pass. We're in 8th and 9th. We just managed to get through Mustafa. Although this guy in 9th is pretty aggressively moving on us. He's got relatively fresh tires, although not quite as fresh as our guys' tires. Got more pitting ahead of us. Granted, those are people pitting that are actually behind us, so no real benefit to us. Pretty much everybody has pitted at this point. And I'm going to expect nobody else to pit here unless something happens. How's the condition of our parts? Looking a little ragged. At least for Boris's car. Mustafa might be able to push, but I don't know if he has the fuel to do it. We are losing a lot of places here. This is the power of our engines, unfortunately, coming back to bite us. As long as we stay in contention, though, I think we'll be okay. I expect the AI to run out of fuel, maybe, or something. I don't know. They pitted pretty late, though, so I wouldn't think that would happen. Wow, look at some of their tires. They must be really aggressively pushing here. Boris's tires are looking a little cool, and these are looking a little warm, so we'll go ahead and make those changes. I'm afraid if I push Boris's engine, his engine will explode on us. So I'll just be patient. I don't know if Mustafa has enough fuel to make that kind of strategy choice. I feel like the guys up here are going to have to pit. I don't think they're going to be able to get around. Well, maybe. They'll probably push it. It's going to be tough, though, to make up a lot of these places. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, are they burning too much fuel? Are they going to run out? Did they shred their tires too badly? Maybe take advantage in that way. But I think we were on a good pit strategy. We just had our cars not really well suited for this track. Our cars do better on more handling oriented tracks, not these top speed oriented tracks. And it's something I'm trying to address with some of the parts I'm designing, but alright, so this is the last lap. At this point, I guess we might as well log the engines here. I'll have to keep an eye on the fuel. Alright, Boris has a chance here. Get up to 11th. Mustafa, I don't really know. But this is it. If you don't pass somebody now, you're not going to. And they've already crossed the line. So we managed to get 11th and 13th. Which is okay, but not as good as we've done in other races. Just one of those things. Our cars are really just not well suited for this kind of track. And with that in mind, the fact that we finished in the middle, it's really not too bad. Our team's probably going to drop quite a bit in the standings as a result, though. All right, well, 11th and 13th. Now, there might be rule breakers that actually change that standing. We did go with 2 pit stops, but a lot of other cars did that as well. We have a few instances of 3 stops, and a lot of the guys that are more in the back had 3 and 4 stops, but checking cars. We'll see how many rule breakers there were. There's always a couple, but none that... Actually, this is the first time I've seen in a long time where there are no rule breakers at all. All right. DRT Motorsport had their one guy crash, unfortunately for them. Okay, so Mustafa's going to drop down into 4th and Boris down into 9th. Now, the upside of that is next race we'll be in a better position. But we also dropped down into 3rd. So we were in 1st. Drop down to 2nd, and now we're down into 3rd. Now, as long as we finish above 5th or above, we should be okay. And I expect our team to do that. Okay. And let's see how we, what track we're going to have coming up next and how we can improve our cars for it. All right. So it'd be nice if we got some more relationship. Oh, big relationship bonus here with our mechanics. So that's going to be really good. And happiness of the chairman went down a little bit. That's interesting. Oh. Huh. I'm a little bit confused with that. You came 8th, but we didn't come 8th. All right, whatever. I guess that's maybe 8th of the teams, or I don't really know. But we lose a little bit of chairman happiness. I think we'll be able to make that back, though. We didn't get our sponsorship bonus, so that is a little rough as well. All right. Now, that's not going to leave me much cash for the next race. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if I'm going to design any more parts at this point. Our next race is expected to be sunny, which is good. Acceleration, top speed, and low speed corners are going to be useful. Let's just take a look at this actual track. All right, so I remember this track. Okay. Okay, Milan, car condition update. We got to repair stuff. Okay, an interview. We'll accept it. It seemed to be a very testing weekend for Boris. Well, I'm backing him to bounce back. I think that's correct. And struggled down in 13th. And it wasn't a great drive. Yeah, we'll just say there's nothing to worry about. Okay. And our chairman actually liked that, so that's good. Hard win. And Milan. Okay, not us. Scouting report. Oh, wow, that's a fantastic driver. Somebody that already works for someone, though, so... all right. Does our scout have plenty of things to still scout? Should, but yeah, that's a decent list. All right. We're going to have to wait until we get our cars repaired to do anything, so might as well do that. Okay, somebody driving for Octane Racing is unhappy. And our car repair is finished. Let's go to improving parts here. So, we're already improving reliability of parts we need to improve. I think at this point, now that we've gotten most things above 70%, I'm going to back off on the improvement of this and this, and we're going to work just on engine. That way, I can have faith that we can flog our engine. So let's do that. We are going to be having a new built engine coming in soon, so I'm going to stop improving this engine and instead improve this engine. I don't know when we're going to get that engine and whether or not we'll be able to improve it much. We can check that out. 5 days. I think that will be enough time. We've got 23 days, so it'll give us about 17 to work with. All right, so that'll be good. We'll get our reliability and the brakes up. Oh, and we got to make sure that this is at the right spot. There we go. And let us continue. All right, so our engine that has been designed is going to be coming up soon. Now, we were improving the reliability of the engine that we'll probably be swapping out, I just realized. It's probably not the best choice. All right, engine build finished. Okay. Let's go back over here. And we will stop improving the reliability of that and start improving the reliability of that. And hopefully we can get it reliable enough for the next race, because it is a dramatically better engine, which I'm hoping will help us with the next race, because as much as top speed is not crucial, it is still useful. So an improvement in that category should help. And we are still improving the gearbox here so that we can get the cars closer together and what have you. All right, so pretty happy with that. Our other brakes are at 70%, which I may want to move over to something else like the gearbox here. I'll give it a couple more days though. So let's go ahead. All right, that's probably good. We get to see some things in our mailbox. Scouting report finished on a couple drivers. Not a great driver now, but will be a fantastic driver in the future. And both of these are temporary traits, so nothing really to worry about. This would be a great driver maybe to pick up as a reserve driver, but not necessarily right now. Oh, taking acting lessons because of a failed actor. That's funny. Okay. And then our other scouting report. Another good driver. That might be a good pickup as a reserve. Smooth breaker, that's permanent. Having secret affair, that's okay. Now, feedback of both those drivers is extremely poor, though, so I don't know about that. But let us take a look here at the car improvements. So these brakes I'm going to back off on, and then I'm going to start working on the reliability of the suspension. And we will go ahead again. Oh, pit stop training. So this is the thing where you can pay to have pit stop and go up. Might as well. I mean, it's going to cost me money, but I like improving the stats of my mechanics whenever possible. All right, let's continue again, although we could look at the cars and just kind of move back and forth. I think I want to improve reliability now that we've gotten that suspension up level. Let's get reliability worked on our gearbox. And we'll continue. Okay, that's probably good for now. We got another scouting report. Okay, so no real potential in this driver. A lot of temporary things going on and other things. Wow, feedback is fantastic with this driver. I just wish she had potential. Unfortunately, she has none. I mean, she's not bad, but I don't know. We'll see. And go back into the car here. It's quite possible this engine... No, not quite. Okay, so that gearbox we've gotten up. Let's go ahead and start working on this one. And engine, we might be able to get up to about 60% or so, as well as the brakes. We'll have to see. Go ahead and continue. So we'll see after this race event where we stand. So come back in, improve parts. All right, so we're at 86% with this engine, and this gearbox is up to 76%. And what else do we have that's on the low end? So we'll be using this brake and this brake. As a matter of fact, let's switch over to improving this brake rather than the other one. And I think the suspension is still the thing that we have the lowest on right now. So we'll start with that one and continue. Okay. So nothing really has happened there. So going to be race day here soon. So let's just take a look at our car, how well we've improved the parts. So we've gotten this up to almost 70%. And the brakes up to 70%. So that's good. Let's go ahead and cancel that and do that. That's just for me in the future. I'm going to keep doing the engine because I want these engines to be as reliable as possible. I may build another engine because as much as this one we could get up to 149, we could do even better than that. And this is still something that we're a little bit lacking in. But I have enough faith that this engine will last for the race. So let us go ahead and fit the parts here. So I'm going to want to switch the brakes from this to that. Now, granted, it's actually, this is more slightly reliable than this is. And as a result, I'm tempted to stick with it. Yeah, why not? We can always change it next race. Now we have the new engine. So we're going to grab that engine with Boris's car. And we're going to give this car to Mustafa, which should help his car quite a bit. And then front ring shouldn't matter. Gearbox we already have. Wing is okay. And then the suspension, out of curiosity, yeah, still won't let me do that. So we're going to have to build better suspension to give these guys a little more level playing field so they don't get upset with each other. But let's see where we are in performance now. See, yeah, we jumped from 9th to 7th by using that new engine. So I'm really happy with that. It's really our braking performance that is still well behind, which I'm kind of surprised because we put a lot of development into our brakes and we're still well behind. But once we get into the improving parts area, we can improve our brakes quite a lot. These new brakes, I mean, we can go all the way up to 226 and 186. It's just a matter of getting them there. So I think we'll be okay. And we're getting the car in the direction we want it to be. We're not going to have as much of a liability in the top speed races like we had in the last race. So that's good. I mean, top speed's, again, not as crucial here. But as long as we can start moving our car up, I think that will definitely start giving us better overall performances. We're still ranked 8th overall, though. In any case, I think it's a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.